Welcome to Wired to Hunt's Whitetail How-Tos, where we provide a step-by-step tutorial for one important deer hunting task. There are a lot of situations and places and scenarios where glassing can make a huge difference for whitetail deer hunters. I personally have found myself using these tools next to me more and more often. You can use these in pre-season situations and in season, and I want to talk about both. I want to talk about the types of situations where you can find value in glassing. I want to talk about the gear that can be useful and some of the techniques that can help find and glass up more of those bucks that you're hunting. First off, in a pre-season situation, I find myself glassing deer more and more because it's fun. I mean, if you are someone who thinks about whitetails all year round, there's almost no better time to see them than during the summer. Summertime, these bucks are needing to pack on the protein, they're growing antlers, they're comfortable, they haven't been hunted for months, so they're very visible, and that's a blast, and it can also help you a lot from a hunting perspective. A lot of those patterns and travel routes and what they're actually doing and where they're going right now, that's gonna be very different from July to October. So I'm not necessarily looking for, how is this deer getting from point A to point B? What I am interested in are what bucks are around this year. You can eyeball these deer, you can start getting an idea of what kind of age class they might be in. If nothing else, this is just gonna be a great way to kind of prime the system, knowing like this is what's around, this is what I could be thinking about this hunting season, and now it's time to start putting a plan in place. I'm gonna want a great set of binos for my general panning around and locating deer, a spotting scope. If you want to get eyes on a buck from a long distance and really tell, like, is this deer a mature buck? Or is this that buck I've seen for the last 2 years? If you want that kind of experience, a tripod with a spotting scope is the way to go. And the final tool that I highly recommend having is what I've got in the backside here, which is a phone scope or some kind of phone adapter where you can attach your phone to the back of your spotting scope and actually view through your phone screen. So rather than having to have your eye up to the spotting scope and squinting through there, you can just see a big, beautiful picture. And what I really like is you can videotape that, or you can take photos of that. So if you're trying to eyeball a buck and determine if it's a deer you want to hunt, having that ability to film or photograph these deer is huge. Now, that's the basic gear I'm looking for. So another thing to think about with your gear is making sure you have everything set up in a systemized kind of way so you can use it when you need to use it. Because there's a lot of situations where you've got your scanning going on with your binoculars, and that's gonna allow you to spot something off in the distance and say, ooh, that's a deer, or ooh, that's a buck. But then, in most cases, you wanna really zoom in and get a better look at it. In that transition from the binoculars to a spotting scope that's gonna allow you to really dial in, that's a tricky one. If you have to make that movement and then fiddle around with your tripod or have a lousy tripod that's hard to move or you've got to rearrange it, you might lose that deer. You might not see him anymore. Have your gear dialed, have your system optimized, and enjoy that fleeting opportunity that you have, because in most of the year, you don't get to see these big mature bucks or whatever it is you're hunting. You don't get to watch them like this. So be ready to take advantage and enjoy that. Technique and timing, that's the next thing to think about. There's certain types of days, there's certain times of day, there's certain conditions when deer are just more likely to move in daylight than others. Obviously, dawn and dusk. But also, I like to time my summer glassing and scouting sessions to coincide with cold fronts, or some light drizzly weather, or a big pressure system moving through. The same things that get deer moving just a little bit more during the fall apply in the summer. I'm not gonna pick the 85-degree nasty day. Perfect world, if I could instead choose the day when the temperatures drop down to 55 after a light rain, that's the day I'm gonna pick. Might as well be more efficient with your time and to get the best chance to see more deer, and especially those mature bucks that maybe move just a little bit less. The more time you can get eyes on locations you hunt, the better. Glassing gets you intel, and if you do it right, it does not negatively impact you. So make sure when you choose to, whether you're going in the summer or in season, don't go blasting into places and spooking deer, right? You're defeating the whole purpose. So find a way to watch from afar, make sure you're not educating deer, make sure they don't know where you're at, know what you're doing. Learn, don't hurt yourself, glass more, hunt smarter. That's why I would definitely add some glassing to your future summer scouting and in-season scouting. It's something that can help you in a lot of different ways. If you want more information like this, be sure to tune into the Wired Hunt podcast, or the Wired Hunt Foundation's mini-series. We've got new deer hunting know-how every week. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.